So liberal media pointing the finger repeatedly at President Trump as the reason why Democrats won big last night.
Independents gave Donald Trump a shot, buyer's remorse. The Latin community gave him a shot, you see buyer's remorse. Black men gave Trump a shot, they've come back home, buyer's remorse.
The Virginia economy has been cratered by Trump and Republican policies in less than a year in office.
Donald Trump tearing down the East Wing of the White House. That sent a voter to the polls in New Jersey.
He made it about Trump. It is about Trump. And just like in every other race across these elections, it was 100% about Trump.
And even though the gears of democracy ran just fine last night, some voices are already planting the seed that Republicans might somehow rig the midterms.
Very mindful and sober of the moment we are living in. Donald Trump does not believe in fair and free elections. Period and full stop.
And full stop. What does that mean?
Full stop. It's like a trapdoor to escape from supplying evidence. Like, I just don't think Jesse Waters is very talented. Full stop. Then it's like, oh, okay.
Can't argue with
you
that.
can't argue with that.
I can.
No. I said full stop.
Sorry.
I said full
right.
stop. You know what? It's another thing that came from England that I hate, aside from Piers Morgan. I'm kidding. He's on tonight. That was just a shameless plug. You know what's amazing? Aren't you, like, shocked that you're not seeing any buildings on fire or any looting after this election? So strange. No windows were broken. And you didn't have to board up anything or board down anything. I think it's great. Look, this isn't a rebuke of Trump. It's a consequence of an absent Republican Party. Lousy candidates. And I get it. It is hard to win in blue areas, but at least try. I mean, I think the first people to leave New York City were Republicans. You know, maybe we're the idiots sticking around here, but at least, try. I think, though, the lesson for Trump is stick to what got you to this dance, which is the economy and immigration, because you're finding immigration is tethered directly to the economy. Where is Doge? I don't know where Doge is. Bring Doge back. Crime, you got to hit it. Keep going with the crime. Sit with the meat and potatoes that makes most of America approve of the stuff you're doing.
Jesse, it does feel like the Republicans desperately need Trump, but so do the Democrats.
Sure. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it, Dana.
Okay.
The Democrats had a great night. I want to sugarcoat it a little bit, though. These were all blue states. Trump didn't campaign there. He didn't spend money there. And the candidates Republicans ran were not very good.
Full stop.
With that said, the economy is still the number one issue. And Trump is doing a very good job digging us out of the Bidenomics hole. Inflation's down to 3%, gas prices are down, and wages are up. But there are still people struggling out there. So he needs to pivot from the commander-in-chief thing to the kitchen table guy. And he needs to do it fast. I understand why he went overseas in the beginning. You got to bring all this money into the country. You got to do these trade deals. It's going to take a little time for those things to develop. But in the meantime, he's got a warp speed power plants going back online. He's got a warp speed housing construction, apartments. You can't even build an apartment in this city because they want less apartments because that way the rent goes up and the real estate guys get rich. You also have to bring these insurance executives to Washington, D.C. and do something about the price of insurance. I don't know what it is, but something has to be done. And then you got to bring the AI guys in and say, if you're going to AI these guys out of a job, what's next? I don't know the answer to that. There has to be an answer to that. But he has to now be the economy guy, and he has to do it with laser focus, or you could see problems in the midterms.
Jessica, how do you see it? Full stop.
Full stop, I see it differently. What Jesse's saying is what Steve Bannon said in an interview this morning, that this is flashing red lights, and it's all well and good to go abroad, and you know that Donald Trump wants a Nobel Peace Prize, but he was elected to do a domestic job, and that's got to be...
So you don't care about the Middle East piece?
I do, and I was
now it's bad.
One of the only Democrats to credit President Trump by name.
I stand corrected.
Do you? You sit. Okay. Jesse says, he fixed the Biden economy. He got 3% inflation when Biden went out, and it's still 3%. Prices have gone up in a lot of categories. People can't afford things like school supplies. They're defaulting on their credit cards. You also say bad candidates. Virginia, no one is going to fight with you about that one. But Jack Ciattarelli ran a great campaign in 2021 and got within a few points of Phil Murphy in that election. And there were a lot of smart Republicans that were saying that they thought that he was going to win, that Mikey Sherrill was a weaker candidate than Spanberger. And there were counties that had flipped for Donald Trump that went immediately back for that terrible candidate, Mikey Sherrill, couldn't string a word together. And when I think things really turned to produce a margin of this size, which the pollsters do have some explaining to do, that it was a 13-point margin and they were talking, 5-6, Jack Ciattarelli in that debate gave Donald Trump an A grade and said essentially what Kamala Harris did on The View. I wouldn't do anything differently. Then Trump says, I'm going to take away the infrastructure spending for the Gateway Tunnel, which is really important for New Jersey and New York. And he didn't stand up for his people. In a state like New Jersey, that especially matters. That state, and I'm married to that state, is full of oomph and fight. And if you just sit there and take it because you serve dear leader, guess what? You're not going to win your election.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.